Yep. So we buy gifts for people because we care. We care how your mom feels, you care how your grandma thinks about you, you care about not getting into a fight with your wife, really. But the question to ask then is, if giving gifts is about caring, then why does it suck? It really sucks, right? And this is what we did. Actually, I won't take the credit for it. Both Brandon and Allison, what they did is they led a survey, and what we found out, we, in a short period of time, got over 60 respondents to come and try to tell us, why does gift giving suck? What we found with overwhelmingly convinced, we were overwhelmingly convinced by the information that we got back, is the reason that it sucks is because we don't know what people want. In fact, we heard time and time again, if I knew what people wanted, it would make it a lot easier. If they just told me what they wanted, if I knew where they were at in their life, if I could figure that out, that would be helpful. So then with the help of both Mark and Kevin, we tried to figure out, well, how can we solve this problem using technology? Now, unfortunately, my slides aren't here to show you some of the information, but we are going to show you some technology to show you what we came up with. And the story is very, very simple. In fact, I'm actually a little embarrassed about how simple the solution that we have is, and it's this. Is sign up for an application that we set up on Facebook. You sign up for the app, you install it on your program. What we'll do is we'll take a look at your friends, the people that are in your network, the people assumably that you're buying gifts for. We use natural language processing technology to understand who those people are. Wheels are turning, I'm looking at faces. And what we do is we figure out exactly what they want, match that information against product descriptions across the web, big organizations, small organizations, niche organizations, and then be able to match people with gifts that they really care about, that they really want, that honestly they couldn't even figure out for themselves. So how cool would it be that you could be the hero and get the perfect gift every time? We actually think that we can. And what we're going to do, what Mark's actually going to do, is show you really quickly what we've started to develop in the form of an algorithm to help you figure that out. Mark? So, I guess since I have the microphone, Mark is looking at me. So at the top here, here's what we started, is that we started to build profiles on people, profiles on occasion, and we started to build some information. We've also scraped a ton of information from Amazon for the purpose of this demonstration. So what Mark said is, I need a gift for my dad and for his birthday. And based on some information, based on some product stuff, some feedback, and some other reviews and categorizations that we found around the web, that we started to find information, and it starts to pull that information and brings this information in. And so what we're trying to do, instead of going to Amazon and typing in a category and being stuck in something in particular where I want to get my dad a camera, and then you're stuck looking at cameras and camera accessories. Or I want to get golf clubs and trying to figure this thing out, and now you're stuck down this path. Or you're like me and you have kids and you buy your daughter some Dora stuff, and now every time you log on to Amazon, they're trying to sell me something that swipe or no swipe, and I don't even know what the hell that's all about. We're talking about something smarter that it can learn, it can figure out. And the beautiful thing about what we're doing, again, I just chuckle because we worked so hard at something and it became painfully simple, very, very late in the game for us, is that we can learn very quickly through the profiles, through the interactions, through the information that's on the web, leverage that information and be able to make it easy for you to look like a hero time and time and time again. And we're not even going to ask you to pay us for doing that for you. This is what we worked on, this is what we built, and I could go into further detail, but that really is as simple as we have it right now. We're off to a good start, we don't have a finished product. I'd love to field some questions from you, but first, before I do that, again, I want to take my hat off to the team, because we in a very short period of time, we worked together, we came up with something that's pretty solid, and we're excited about what this thing is going to look like in the future. Thank you.
So is this, this is expected to be built on Facebook, sort of as a Facebook app?
Well, Facebook is just a start, because we can certainly take that information across other platforms, integrate other things. Amazon has a wish list. There's a lot of data sets that we can plug into. Pandora profiles, all of these things to really start to understand a very deep profile which I'm going to get ahead of. If someone has this question, starts to speak to the revenue model, I'm sure you guys can see where I'm going with that.
And is that lead gen model, or how do you make money?
Well, first we have two ways. I mean, we're looking at the affiliate revenue that's obviously generated from the referrals, but also as we start to develop a deep understanding, an organic understanding, because just because I bought my wife a camera this year, I probably shouldn't buy her one again next year. So to be able to see that evolve and to be able to see those things that she's purchased and she's talked about, and as she updates her profile unconsciously, she's teaching us how and what she's interested in over a period of time, and we can continue to update that and provide better recommendations.
And so, do you have to log in to get these recommendations? It's just something to think about. Is, you know, are you always going to go to this other service just to be reminded to go to them?
No, you'll go on Facebook, and when you log in, if you click on a person's name, there'll be a hook that you can actually press a button and say, "I want to buy a gift for my mom." And you press a drop-down menu, and without prompting it to do anything else.
So there's been a few apps that have done this on Facebook over the years, and they often focus on the birthday, right? Because what Facebook has always been able to get you very quick access to is all your friends' birthdays and 2 months away and all this stuff. So have you thought more about the sort of the birthday side of things in particular?
Well, what we found from the customers, and again, doing the customer survey was pretty critical, is because most customers are frustrated that it's focused on those specific events and it doesn't really give you much insight in terms of what the person might be interested in. So while we will take that information into consideration, we really want to make a decision based on who the person is and not just what season it is.
I think just one point of feedback would be, I think it's going to be impossible to match good gift recommendations with just knowing, you know, dad and for birthday. What I think could be interesting though, and maybe this is what the algorithm is doing, but you know, giving me a whole bunch of other search filters, like areas of interest, age, you know, maybe some other things, and then giving me more specific recommendations. So I'm not sure if that was taken there, but in the demo, I couldn't see that quite working.
Sure, in the demo we weren't able to meet that and really demonstrate that because, like I said, we had to do a pivot at some point in the presentation, but we started building the database, we started building the algorithm, and understand when I went to the natural processing language of being able to take this information, we're looking at the things that you're interested in, we're looking at the stuff that you're looking at, that you post about, that we're really understanding who you are, and it's not just based on those two fields that you saw me plug at this time.